Welcome to Organizing with Ease, where we simplify and organize our lives for the better. I'm Deanna Moll, your host, here to guide you towards a more organized and enriching life. Together, let's explore practical strategies, inspiring stories, and expert advice to simplify every aspect of our lives. Are you ready to embark on this journey with ease? Let's start. Hi, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Organizing with Ease. I'm Diana Moll, and I'm thrilled to continue our June series dedicated to helping you get summer ready and organized. If you're just joining us, welcome. Last week, we kicked off the series with tips on establishing morning routines and creating family calendars. Today, we're talking about the heart of the home. Can you guess what area that is? You guessed right, the kitchen. A clutter-free, organized kitchen can make your summer meals and gatherings a breeze. So let's get started. The kitchen is often the busiest room in the house, not only through the summertime, but of course throughout the other months. But when it is during the summertime, our kids are home and our families, like myself included, we do a lot more hosting and get-togethers. But if you have an organized kitchen, it not only helps you make your meal prep more efficient, it also creates a more enjoyable space to spend time in. Don't you agree? A clutter-free kitchen can reduce stress, save time, and even help you maintain healthier eating habits, which I have mentioned often. And remember something, not only is this true, but according to the study of Cornell Food and Brand Lab, people with organized kitchens are more likely to make healthier food choices when everything has its place and is easy to find. Cooking becomes more pleasant and less stressful, so we don't need to worry about any missing ingredients when you're ready to start preparing for your meal. Plus, a clean, tidy kitchen is actually more inviting to family and friends. Wouldn't you agree? Because it definitely does and is, at least in our household, the perfect spot for some summer gatherings. And just on a side note, yes, my kitchen still needs to be newly renovated, but we still make the most of it. Anyway, let's just keep going. Let us start by decluttering the kitchen. And you're probably cringing because of the fact that you're hearing that word decluttering. But you could also look at it as purging. This is the first and foremost crucial step in organizing your kitchen. Begin by taking everything out of your cabinets, drawers, and pantry. And I'm saying yes to everything, but I am saying not all at once. Take it one step at a time. Remember what I always say, little by little, step by step, even in your kitchen. Because this allows you to see exactly what you have and assess what you actually use. So if you take each of these areas, the cabinets, the drawers, and the pantry, separately, you can definitely divide and conquer and get the results in your kitchen to be and become as efficient as possible. How do you start? You start by sorting and categorizing. So you group similar items together. For example, you place all baking supplies in one area, cooking utensils in another, and so on. This will help you see if you have any duplicates or items you no longer need. Now, I do use my kitchen countertop and I place cover over it. And I place all the items depending on where and what area I'm working on. But I do use this as well. I get to see, especially if I'm in my drawers, whether or not I have 5 spatulas and 3 egg cutters. Maybe I can pare that down to maybe 1 egg cutter and maybe only 3 spatulas. But you do have to ask yourself if you've used it in the last year. If not, it's probably time to donate or recycle it. But one must and has to be honest about what you need versus what's just taking up space. Remember this, less is more. Again, less is more. Now, you do need to, and this is what I do because it actually gives me a sense of calmness, and you might have the same feeling, but you definitely want to clean as you go. So you want to wipe down those shelves, drawers, and any of those countertops before placing items back. Not only does this freshen up your kitchen, but it makes the organization process much more rewarding, like those before and afters. Now, one cannot forget about a key part of the kitchen, and that is the refrigerator and freezer. So don't forget to clean out the refrigerator and freezer. Discard of any expired or freezer burned items. Wipe down the shelves and drawers to ensure a clean and fresh storage space. Now, this rule that I'm about to go over is a rule that is actually used in closets and or any other areas of your home, but this actually can be also used for your kitchen. And it is the one in and one out rule. So for every new item you bring into your kitchen, try to get rid of another one. One in, one out. What you want to also do is to keep frequently used items within easy reach and store rarely used items in higher or lower cabinets. Just think about this statistic. Eliminating clutter eliminates 40% of housework in the average home. That's a pretty good number right there, 40%. But once you've decluttered, and now this is the fun part. This is where the things of what you're doing actually will get into place. It's now time to actually organize. Think of your kitchen in terms of zones. You have your prep, your cooking, your baking, your storage, and your cleaning areas, right? I call these zones. Organizing by zone can make your kitchen more efficient and functional. And not only that, but it actually helps other family members keep your kitchen nice and tidy after you've done this particular cleaning. Now, you're probably thinking, this is great, but how do I create a zone? Well, you start with an area like, I don't know, you have your prep zone, right? I just mentioned. So what does that mean? You have a prep zone. This is the area which includes your cutting boards, your knives, mixing bowls, measuring cups. Place these items near your prep space to make meals much more smoother. Now, you can create now a cooking zone. Store pots, pans, spatulas, and cooking utensils near the stove. Keep your spices and cooking oils close by as well. And maybe might even have a salt container off to the side, right? Now let's think about a baking zone. We have one in our household because we do actually bake often. Create a dedicated baking zone with baking sheets, mixtures, measuring spoons, and ingredients like flour and sugar. Then we have our storage zone, which is typically your pantry. Now, when you organize your pantry with clear containers and labels, it does help. You want to really start with grouping similar items in the pantry together, such as snacks, canned goods, and breakfast items. Again, these would be easy reached for all other family members during summer times as well, especially when you have all those kids for those pool dates. Now, another area is what I call the cleaning zone, which is where we keep our dish soap, our sponges, cleaning supplies, and it's typically held underneath the sink. But that area underneath the sink is what I call the cleaning zone. So also make sure in this particular area that you have trash bags that are also easily accessible so that everyone can throw away what needs to be done. Now, again, do not forget about the refrigerator and freezer now that you cleaned it up. You now also within your refrigerator and freezer, now you can designate areas for the different types of food. You can use clear bins and labels to keep everything in its place. Now, I actually do have all of this. I do keep my vegetables and my fruits in specific areas within my refrigerator as labeled. I'd have my milk and my drinking on the side door because I do have doors that one can open. I have my condiments and I have all of my other salad dressings on the other side of the door. So that is truly important. Also easy accessible for everyone when they open up that refrigerator. Use drawer dividers for utensils and small items. Why not install hooks or magnetic strips to store frequently used tools like knives and measuring cups? Those are always helpful. And consider a lazy Susie for spices or small pantry items to make them easier to reach. And what I will do is any product recommendations throughout this episode, I will link them to the show notes. Another recommendation, which I kind of like, is the OXO Good Grips. It's a 15-piece everyday kitchen tool set, and it's great for keeping essential tools organized within reach. Again, clear pantry bins from M Design can also help because it's clear and easy to access your food items. Drawer dividers is also from Simple Houseware, can also help your utensils and simple and small, even for small kitchens. Items can be neatly arranged. Clear refrigerator bins from iDesign. iDesign is also very good, and it can keep your refrigerator organized and easy to navigate. And this is another thing I wanted to share with you. This is a phenomenal statistics. You know me, I like to give you statistics aside from giving you phenomenal quotes. But this one is actually from the National Kitchen and Bath Association. They found that 75 of respondents reported that an organized kitchen made meal preparation easier and enjoyable. How about that? That was 75%. Not only that, but again, organized spaces can increase efficiency and save time spent for searching for items up to 30%. And when you're in the kitchen, you definitely need to know what you're doing, where to find things in that moment when you're cooking and you need something right then and there so that you don't burn anything, right? You definitely need to know where that all is. Now, maintaining an organized kitchen does, however, require a bit of ongoing maintenance or efforts. But at the end of the day, the payoff is so well worth it. Don't you agree? So I'm going to give you some tips on how to just keep your kitchen tidy and functional throughout the summer and possibly beyond. Now, daily cleanup. Spend 10 to 15 minutes each day cleaning up your kitchen. Wipe down the counters, put away the dishes, and tidy up any clutter. This particular daily cleanup is what is included in my nightly routine. I also include in my nightly routine, I set the coffee so that I have it fresh for the morning and it's automatic. And I also set the night before the dishwasher so that while the coffee is brewing, the dishwasher I can empty out because the night before I have all my dishes running overnight. Super efficient for us. Take a few minutes each week to go through your pantry and your refrigerator. Discard again of any expired items, maybe in the refrigerator. If there's anything that's spoiled or something that was unused, you might want to look at it, especially if it's those fruits and vegetables. And then, of course, make a shopping list of what you need. Once a month, dedicate some time to deep cleaning your kitchen. This actually does include, again, the refrigerator and freezer, wiping down your cabinets, and scrubbing the stove and the oven. What's easy for us, our oven is a self-cleaning oven, so all I need to do is just press the button, and that's an automatic clean. And then, of course, a seasonal purge, of course, at the beginning of each season, and now we are in the summer season. Do take time and review your kitchen items. Donate or discard anything you haven't used in the past few months. Now, another thing that is considered what I consider long-term organizing, and the reason why I say that is because a lot of times you don't consider this as part of maintenance and long-time organizing, but if you can, label everything. Use labels on pantry bins, shelves, drawers, just to remind everyone where the things belong. So it's really easy for everyone to walk into your kitchen, go into your pantry, open up a drawer, and they take out everything. But then when it's time to put it back, sometimes even family members forget where they're supposed to put it back. But if it's labeled, it's easy for everyone to say, oh, that's right. Now I know. I know exactly where I can put it back. Because remember, everything in its home has to have its place. Now, on a personal note, I want you to share with you that what I do in my kitchen is for me not to forget things. I actually write it down on my phone and or I use Alexa and give my running shopping list because everyone has access to it. If you're not a digital family, of course you can have maybe a small notepad in the kitchen, in your command center if you have that set up in your kitchen, and then you just write down a running list so that you have that ready to go. Another tip, of course, is to set a timer to do that, 10 to 15 minutes so that you don't have to stress yourself out too much. But I have to say, it really does make a difference. And it is just to see the accomplishment just in a few minutes, and then you wake up to a clean kitchen the next day is such a great way to start off, right? I can tell you my biggest pet peeve, and you might already have known this, but I'm just sharing with you again. I particularly do not like to have dirty dishes left in the sink overnight. So that is why my nightly kitchen routine is really important for me. And that is why it's part of my night routine. There has been a study that was found that families who spend time together in an organized kitchen report higher levels of happiness and lower levels of stress. So, are you part of that family statistics there? I can think you are, because you have just listened to me on how you are going to get your kitchen organized. And that is the best of all. An organized kitchen can truly transform your summer experience, making meal prep more enjoyable and efficient. By decluttering, organizing into zones, and maintaining your space, you can create a kitchen that works for you and your family. Thank you again for joining me on this episode of Organizing with Ease. Stay with us next week as we continue our summer series and talk about getting into organizing your outdoor spaces for some summer fun. Have a fantastic week and happy organizing. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to Organizing with Ease podcast on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us grow and reach more listeners like you who are passionate about living their best lives. And remember, a new episode comes out every Thursday at 8 a.m. So mark your calendar and join us. Until next week, take care and keep shining bright.